Obstürmt oder steigt,
und die Sonne uns lacht, der Tag glühend heiß oder eiskalt.
Hey there again, YouTubers. This is Stromgeschütz4, also known as Globulus. Bring you another free-for-all. This time it's I think it's a 5-player squad res. 5 of us. Squad resolution battle. Once again, I'm playing as Carthage. I have 6 Sacred Band Cav, all gold. These two here have experienced chevron. My infantry are all Sacred Bands. I believe 3 of them are silver, and the other 2 are bronze. My slingers, they are all silver attack. I think they're all silver attack, bronze defense, but this one has an experienced chevron. Let's go look at Macedon here, commanded by my rival Bazuli. He's got 4 Cretan archers, 5 royal pikemen, and he has 4 companion cav and 2 light lancers. Let's go see the Egyptian player, who didn't bring any infantry, but he's got 5 units of Pharaoh's bowmen, 5 units of skirmishers, and 6 units of missile chariots. Good if you're going to maneuver around the map and just pick off people. Otherwise, I mean, if you want to get into a stand-up fight, well, that won't happen. The Greek city-states, commanded by Khans 121. He has 1, 2, 3, 4 Greek light cav, 1 general armored bodyguard, 1 incendiary pigs, 1, 2, 3, 4 archer units, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 armored hoplites, and looks like 4 Spartans. Go to the Brudii, under the command of Dark Lord Sauron. He's got 4 Praetorian Cav, 3 Archer Auxilia, and 6 Urban Cohorts. Now, there was a discussion early on here. Well, I'll just tell you right now. The Greek cities player, he ends up, for whatever reason, I don't know if he just quits the game to quit, or if he got booted, but either way, it's a CPU army. So, me and the Brudii were going to fight, and then we see that Greece is CPU controlled, so we decided to take on Greece instead. That way, there's no interference from the Greeks. I believe the Egyptians also head that way. Bazuli and Macedon here, they're not running, but they're marching toward the Egyptians to try to get a fight going there. You know, I'm going to fast forward this for a second, even though it's the beginning of this. Anyway, I've got my army heading toward Brudii, but I decided to head toward the Greeks. So this is about the point where we decided that, I told him to take the left of the Greek line, I would take the right, and we'd finish off the Greeks, so we could actually have a battle without CPU interference here. The Egyptian player, Belinus, he brings over some of his units to assist. Now, basically, what I do here, I rush my army forward just so I can get in on these kills. Because it's a scored fight, I figured I better get some kills against this Greek army while I could. So, I'm definitely not going to win the race there. I just get in range to utilize my army, in a different manner. I'm kind of worried about the Egyptian here, maybe going all crazy and charging me with his chariots and stuff. So I'm not real worried about the chariots because I don't think they're not sky chariots. Here, the Egyptian player has peeled off a couple of Egyptian chariot archers. I think that 3. And he's going to engage the Macedonians at range here. But a few times here, as me and the Brudii player, we kind of maneuver around because it looks like the Greeks are going to go after Egypt. But it seems like every time we move, then the Greeks start heading our direction. So eventually we do, myself, the Egyptian player with his few units here, and the Brudii player do take on the Greeks. Here we got a little skirmish battle going on. Let's go ahead and go over here to this. Hitting him as he comes up. Pretty smart move, really. You can't really do much better than that. And here the Cretans are just tearing his chariots apart. I'm not sure if he comes in with a charge here or not. Personally, I wouldn't have not my general unit sitting here. But it looks like, yeah, he just lowered them pikes and just took out 3 chariots like it was nothing here. Now here I send my cav up. Let's go back over here real quick. I send my cav up off to my left here to hit routing units as the need arises. I also, eventually I do send both of my slinger units over to assist, or 2 of my slinger units. I kind of leave the rest of my army back here in reserve. Not quite sure what whether Brudii would try to take advantage of the situation in any way, shape, or form. I mean, I didn't figure he would, but I wasn't going to leave anything to chance. But it really does seem like I've found the perfect Carthaginian army for me when it comes to scored battles. It's got lots of mobility. I generally try to use my slingers on the flanks to get flanking shots on enemy cav. But I support them with my Sacred Band calves. That way, if the enemy cavalry decides they want to charge down my slingers, well, they're going to have some Sacred Band cav to worry about. Excuse me.
Child. Now attack and break the will of his followers.
But yeah, the Egyptian CPU, or the Egyptian CPU, excuse me, the Greek CPU player just kind of rushes at different points in the battle. So we're kind of hit and run, I guess, as we go here. Because nobody really wants to hit their pikes with their cav out of the fear of a lot of damage. Now here, I do kind of get shot from behind by these some of these Egyptian chariots, but it's no big deal. Here I see the Spartans coming, so I try to get out of dodge. I think I have my slingers targeting. I'm not sure what they're targeting. Yeah, they're targeting these chariots here. Since I caught him firing at me. And here's some Greek light cav. Okay, now see here, I'm moving one of my slinger units over. I believe I have them fire at these Spartans. See, I didn't engage the Greeks as much as I wanted because I had to sit here and worry about the Egyptian player as well. So I was kind of caught in a rough spot. And here you're going to see I get a nice rear charge in on these Spartans. Really hit them pretty good. They do get their pikes down, but not in time. They do cause a few casualties on me, but nothing serious. So I just utterly destroyed this Spartan unit here. And now the Brudii. Later on, he says something to me about not having any missiles left. Honestly, he didn't need to use them. He could have just used one of these units and used the arrows from one unit, and it probably would have done the job he was looking for. But instead, he decides to use all 3 units and just melt away at these Spartans. And here we're just combining missile fire between my slingers and his archers. We're doing a pretty good number on these Greek units here. And then my cav, I've just got them maneuvering around. I'm trying to catch any of these hoplite units from the rear if I can. I don't want to send my army, the bulk of my army, into this fray because I think that my slingers and my cav can do the job. Now, when the Macedonians come up here to engage the Egyptians full on, then I feel a little more free to maneuver my army around. Now here I'm just hitting these Spartans with my slingers, hitting them from the sides, you know, whatever I can do to knock their numbers down, maybe give me an advantage when it comes to a cav charge. Now here I do peel off my general unit to engage these Spartans, but there's not many Spartans up by the time I get there. Well, not compared to what I have anyway. Now here I kind of use my Sacred Band unit here as bait, and I get a nice rear charge in on these armored hoplites, and they rout immediately. And here I'm sending this Sacred Band unit to assist in wiping them out. Now, I was chasing down archers back here with this Sacred Band unit, my Sacred Band cav here, just trying to knock out, like I say, just trying to knock out some, you know, the Greeks and get rid of them, so me and the Brutii cleric can have a nice fight, and to get kills, since I do need to get kills since it's scored resolution. But here the Macedonian player slowly beating up on Egypt. I mean, that was to be expected, really, because no infantry, once you're out of missiles, I mean, you can charge, you know, whatever, but it's not going to do a lot of damage. I mean, it's a rout scene for the most part. Like I said, I know when I play as Egypt, I usually bring at least 4 pike units, just as, you know, I've said the term before, a pinning force, to kind of keep the enemy occupied enough to where my cavalry can maneuver around and my infantry can stay engaged with their infantry, which, you know, if I'm lucky, can hold them back long enough where my cavalry can get around for hammer and anvil strikes and things like that. But one of my favorite maneuvers as Carthage with this battle setup, I like to send my slinger units on the flanks with cavalry support. Like I said, I've mentioned it earlier. You know, that way my slingers can target enemy cav or enemy formations, and with really little fear of retaliation, because if an enemy does retaliate against my slingers with their cavalry, for example, my cavalry will be there to back up my slingers. Now here I get a decent charge, but they got their pikes down in time. But they don't do a huge amount of damage on me, which kind of surprised me. And here we got what's left of the Egyptians fighting Macedon. So it's more or less over. Bazuli, my arch rival here, probably going to chalk up another win. I knocked these Spartans down to 20, but I went ahead and withdrew my cav. I wanted to get everybody back in formation for my eventual fight with the Brutii here. See, the only reason he ran out of missiles was because he kept firing at the hoplites and the cav that the Greeks had, and the archers and things. But the reason I still have all my slingers left, virtually my army is being attacked here. But the reason my slingers are all still intact is because most of them, you know, because they have a shorter range than Archer Auxilia, they didn't get in range to fall under fire. So I still have quite a few left. I got some good. I did kill a couple of. I think it was a Spartan hoplite unit, an armored hoplite unit with two of my slingers here. Not entirely, but I knocked them down well enough to where my cavalry could take advantage of the situation. And there we go, the Egyptian general picking off some more Greek units. Like I said, since it's scored, I mean, you know, every kill counts, whether it's you know, lowly slingers like mine, or even Sacred Band cav. I mean, it's quality kills that wins the day, but if you can get a good number of kills, I mean, you can win the day that way as well. Actually, you know what? I have 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I got 5. Well, I had 6 there for a minute. 6 slinger units, but I only got 5. But anyway, we have a little discussion here. He says he's about out of missiles, and asks if I would just attack him, but quite frankly, I've only got 5 spear units. He's got 6 infantry, so he can outflank me with his infantry. So I really didn't want to do that. What I do end up doing, you'll see here in a moment, but just what I talked about earlier in this battle, I send 2 slinger units on either flank and start picking away at his cav with my cav in support of my slingers. I leave 1 slinger unit here in the center just to try to draw some attention of his archers, but he doesn't really target my slingers with his archers. So I mean, he does initially, but not later on here. And yeah, the Egyptian player is more or less routed. Like I said, they have the 1 unit still over here picking off armored hoplites that are routing. And here's where I start sending my slingers over to each flank with the cavalry support, basically daring him to charge into my slingers. But he never does really take the bait, though. He plays defense, which I guess is okay if that's the kind of game you like to play. But Roman factions, they're basically built for offense. Excuse me. So when I've played as Rome, I've never played defense. I've always played aggressively, more offensively. I kind of do the same with Carthage, at least with cavalry and slingers. I think I have this slinger unit come up here and start targeting some of these urbans just to keep his attention up here on the front with the infantry. And I start moving my pikes up. Here I begin to, as soon as my slingers are all in position here, I start targeting his Praetorian cav. I mean, I have the cavalry advantage, 6 units to 4, but the less cavalry I have to deal with, the better. Especially since Macedon has all those pikes. I mean, the more cav I have, the better off I am. Especially since I play a mobile style of warfare on these games. He does get a few of my cav here with his archers. But like I said, he kept trying to tell me to hit him from, or just attack him, because he had little, only had a few arrows left. And like I said, I wasn't going to do that because his infantry held the advantage on mine. I probably could here in a moment, though. Now here I kind of catch him off guard. I think he was going to try to mingle in his cavalry into his archers here. But doesn't really work out. I catch him before he does. And I charge in on basically a double envelopment on both flanks, basically hitting his cav. I don't really care about anything else. I want to hit his cav, knock his cav down, maybe even get him to chase me so I could draw his cav away from his main body. That way I could take them on a lot easier. And all the meanwhile, my slingers are still targeting his cav. And now I'm hitting him from behind. I'm just decimating him. He did bring a couple of cohort units back. I probably could have launched an attack on his front here, but I decided against it. I was more preoccupied with hitting his cav and getting rid of them, so I'd have free autonomy to move around the field with my cav as much as I could. Now here he does catch me with a couple of his cohort units, but I do end up withdrawing out in time, and he just up and quits. I didn't understand why, because he had a fair chance of winning it, even with my cavalry advantage. This isn't the way I wanted to win this battle against the Bruttii, But as soon as he admits defeat, I just start charging in and collecting kills. Like I said, this isn't how I wanted to win this battle against him, but you know, I'll take it any way I can get it, I guess. Like I said, he still had a fair chance of winning this battle. I didn't understand why he quit. It kind of threw me off. I didn't really understand it. Like I said, he held the infantry advantage on me. Granted, I probably would have picked him apart with my slingers and my cav during the infantry battle, but he didn't have to quit. But he played it about as well as he could. Anyway, there's the Egyptian player, slowly coming back into view. Anyway, let's triple speed this here. As I reform, and I'm getting ready to take on the Macedonians. I just wanted to reform my army here, so I do, and I'm basically going to employ the same strategy against Macedon that I employed against the Brutii here a moment ago, with my slingers and my cav on my flanks, you know, picking him apart. My infantry, again, I didn't really have an infantry advantage, not like I wanted, so that's why I did what I did with Macedon here. Like I said, essentially the same thing I did to the Brutii. I just swung out on the flanks with my slingers and my cavalry to support, because his cavalry, I got to looking as I was moving up, his cavalry, there's really not much here. But I do send, I'm not sure if I do or not. I think when I do send my slingers out on the flanks like that, I generally, like I said, I give them cav support, and basically the idea is, if I can't lure the enemy in, I can just pick them apart. But he does, you'll see it in a moment here, but he does take the bait and go after my slingers, and I've got 2 cav units waiting to pounce on that. But I do send the majority of my cav over to my left flank with the majority of my slinger units. And he did put all of his units in loose formation except for his cav, so it'd make it hard for me to hit. But here he takes the bait, goes after my slingers. I don't think he expected me to, I think he was waiting to see if I would respond faster. If I would have responded quicker and charged in, as I saw him charge in, he probably wouldn't have, he probably would have withdrew here and hit my companions with his, hit my sacred bands with his Cretans. I mean, he does get a few of them, but I managed to rout what remains of his cavalry here. And my slingers, I bring them back to start targeting his pikemen. But I kind of confuse him. At least that's what it kind of looks like to me. Might be confusing him with the right word, but you know, I'm maneuvering with my cav in a way that he's got to maneuver his pikes around, run them all over the place, and they really just kind of run into all kinds of trouble because of my slingers. And then eventually here I do bring my pikes up, and do engage his infantry. And he does well. Bazoo does really well. Usually when me and him have a scored fight, we're both in the same battle, we're usually first and second. I think we've had a total of 4 battles. I've won 2 of them. He's won 1, and there was one that was kind of a draw, where we both got knocked out kind of early on. Now here he's trying to chase down my slingers with his pikes, which really isn't a bad move, because my slingers are really what's causing all the problems for him. And I've got these slingers, I believe I'll bring them up here eventually, and I think I target this Royal Pikeman unit here. But I start moving my cav around again, trying to catch him in awkward positions to where I can maybe rear charge him or, you know, whatever here. But he starts making a beeline toward my infantry, so I pull my infantry around, and you'll see here in a moment where one of my infantry units gets decimated. It's because I sent them over, and already had specified their targets already, and one of the units gets kind of caught before he gets to his specified target, and the target actually comes in and hits me from the flank and really smashes up one of my Sacred Band infantry here. Infantry-wise, I mean, I kind of thought he would have the advantage. I stayed in a tight formation. He kind of made his a little longer, but he did the smart thing by coming in, running in, rushing in with you know, out of phalanx and in loose formation, so I wouldn't decimate too many of his pikemen. And he brings them down at the last moment, and really does a number on me. Like I said, now here, I'm not sure exactly the hell's going on here. I think my unit was glitched, but he just annihilates this thing. And here's where he caught me from the side. I'm bringing my slingers in on my left to hit these Royal Pikes in the back. And here I'm charging down his Cretan archers, getting rid of them. I did manage to rout this pike unit. I think I get them turned around in time. Here I do a nice rear charge, virtually all of my cav, all 4 of my 6 cav units, and rout his pikes here. But I've still got my slingers just shooting away at the backs of his units here. Now I do chase this unit down. Like I said, I wasn't sure exactly how this battle was going to turn out. I wasn't sure if I had the most kills or not. Because like I said, usually it's between me and him, me and Bazuli here. And he played very well in this. Now I did make a micro error here. I clicked for my cavalry to head out this direction, but one of the units decided it wanted to head here right into his pikes. But what's funny is I end up winning that battle, even though winning that little fight, even though I charged headlong into his pikes. Here, a rear charge with my cav and my Sacred Band infantry were hitting him pretty hard, so gave him to rout. He does have a unit of Cretans back here. I want to triple speed this for you guys. Get us to the results screen.
These men are perfect. They are running from the battle in
As you can see, I've pretty much wiped out everybody here. But yeah, I think I've definitely found the kind of army I can use in the score resolution with Carthage. I really never used Carthage in scored battles up until there was a fight I had. I posted it here on YouTube. I was fighting against Steven Seagal. I was playing as Parthia, and he played as Carthage and just tore me up. So you know, I kind of learned a lesson from that, and have used an army similar to the one he used, and haven't lost with this Carthage army and scored since I started using it. So, you know, we'll have to see exactly how it works from here on out. But anyway, I by far had the most kills in the way of numbers, as well as quality. And like I said, Bazuli, he finished second, which is typical. My cavalry, again, did most of the damage. That's typical for for the way I play. I like to use my mobility and stuff. I had one unit over 300 and kills, and 3 units. One had 199, more or less 200, and the other 2 had over 200. So, good game to all my opponents here. And always remember, play with honor and bleed your enemies.